All right, guys, welcome back to our countdown, the top 10 best games in MLG history featuring the Kings of the North, the EU players. We just saw number 10, Naniwa versus Thorzain, followed by number 9, Sase versus Polt. Guess what's next? Number 8 is going to be next. Good guess there. It's going to be Thorzain versus Creator, Game 5. Before we hop into it, though, quick shout-out to NCX Sky E in the Twitch chat. I'm hanging out in the Twitch chat, by the way. So if you're not there, you should be there hanging out. He said, I appreciate the gamble Sase made. What a trooper. And he's actually right. That last game, the cannon rush, when the tournament is on the line, you lose, you're done. Craziness. Crazy awesome. But as I said, coming up next, number 8 is going to be Thorzain versus Creator. This is Game 5 from the 2013 Winter Exhibition. Thorzain and Creator are 2-2. The winner of this game will advance on to the next round, and this is a period where Koreans are demolishing everyone. So we'll have to see if Thorzain can make it happen. But here is your number 8 game in this countdown: Thorzain versus Creator. Game number 5 in the 2013 Winter Exhibition.
We're currently watching an awesome series between Creator and Thorzain. They're tied 2-2, which means we're essentially in a best-of-1 right now.
That's right. It is game point. Whoever wins this will take it home, bring it to the semifinals, where they're going to be going up against Hero.
Yes.
So that's going to be a great match too. Look forward for that either today either tomorrow or on Thursday. But right now, game number 5, the final match between Thorzain and Creator is going to be going on Star Station. This is, of course, it's a 4-spawn map, but it's really only 2 spawns because it's forced cross spawn.
Yes. It's not like that on the ladder. For those
You're
of
right.
you who are confused, we're using the map pool from the Winter Championship event, and we made it forced cross spawn because we're awesome like that. But here we are in game number 5. This is it. Whoever wins this will advance to the semifinal. We have 2 fantastic players involved in the bottom right-hand location. It's the Red Protoss player representing Team Prime. He is Creator. His opponent in the top left-hand location trying to pull off an upset of sorts. I can't help but call it that, because generally, whenever a foreigner plays a Korean, it seems like that is the case. Dubbed the King of the North, hailing from Sweden. Representing Team Evil Geniuses, he is Thorzain. Blue Terran player.
One thing I think it's fair to say about this map is, conventionally, this is a map that Terrans like against Protoss.
Okay.
But they like it because the area by the third base is very open. It's great for large concaves and like those 180 to 200 foot attacks, right?
Yep.
And the Korean macro Terrans will max out at 200 feet when a Protoss is still at 150, 160, launch a massive attack on the Protoss and kill the third base using the great concave. But Thorzain's style, he likes to tech a lot faster, use a lot more ghosts, he maxes a little bit slower. So these, he's not going to get that advantage in food over Creator, so he won't be able to really do those massive busts.
These guys are silly. Sorry.
Yeah, they are kind of silly.
Why are you guys so silly?
That's
it's forced cross spawns. Why are you scouting in the top frame? It's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay.
So Thorzain's style, actually, I feel it's not going to play this map quite as well.
Okay.
Because Thorzain's great those late games, but if you think about the way this map will go late game, it'll be very hard for Terran to start getting to corner bases. Because Protoss can throw pylons everywhere, they can harass those bases very easily, and the more spread out a map gets, the better it gets for Protoss in the super late game, because of course we saw in Cloud Kingdom, the warp and harassment on the right side, and then also when it comes to an engagement, if Protoss can get a massive flank on Terran, that's where they can take home those late game engagements.
Alright, we'll definitely keep an eye on that as the game progresses forward. Thorzain opening up with the barracks command center, not taking any gases just yet. That might go down fairly soon though. Scouting the bottom left now with this SCV, so now he's going to know without a doubt that his opponent is spawning in the bottom right.
So what I'm curious right now, will Thorzain just hide his SCV somewhere in the corner of the map and wait until the 6-minute mark to run in and scout his opponent? This is the technique we've seen a lot of the world-class Terrans use. The Flash loves it. Because the 6-minute mark is where if the Protoss is moving out to put pressure on, there won't be units there so you can get into the base. It's also where if you don't see a Nexus, it's enough time that you can start a reaction to defend one base so it won't be too late. But it looks like he's going to go straight to the main. Of course, SCV will be taken out without much of a problem. He does see the fact there was a Zealot and a Stalker, so that's just going to not really tell him anything.
No, it's not.
So it is a little bit unfortunate.
Saw one gas, which again doesn't tell him
Yeah.
too much because he already saw the Stalker, so it makes sense that his opponent took a gas.
So Thorzain's a little bit in the dark. Of course, Creator as well is in the dark. His probe got taken up by Marine before it could really see much of it. I mean, he knows he didn't go Command Center first. That's it. That's all Creator knows, that Thorzain didn't go Command Center first.
Right.
So they're both in the dark, of course. Thorzain uses patented build where he gets the gas a little bit faster, only gets 2 barracks, gets fast add-ons on those 2 barracks. This is a pretty unique build. Most Korean Terrans don't use this. They usually go up to 3 barracks or stay at 1 and tech. But it's 2 barracks double add-on. It's kind of a neat addition.
So he keeps getting the tech lab when getting this Reaper. Though for those of you who are newer to Heart of the Storm, you do not need a tech lab to get
Yeah,
the
he's
Reaper.
getting tech lab for a stint.
Right. So
not
it's not like he doesn't know that this exists. It's just that the tech lab is there so he can get that earlier stint without too much delay.
And of course, the reason he gets the Reaper on that barracks is because the reactor takes longer to build. So the reactor barracks is still, trying to build that reactor. Again, 3rd barracks before factory, so a little bit different than what he did on Akron Waste. Engineering bay going up as well. Creator, of course, is doing his very, very safe opening, getting the Robo, getting the 2nd gateway. No 3rd gateway yet. Usually he goes for 3 gateways. And
Reaper taking out that probe.
Yeah.
And 2 to 1.
He's looking for proxies.
His
That's what
units
Reaper's
lost
doing. He's not drunkenly wandering around the map.
Right.
He knows Creator's
Like
in the
that
bottom right.
Immortal from the Neoplanet S game. Or no, that was from
Cloud Kingdom. Yeah. He's specifically trying to find proxy pylons. Of course, if you do an opening like Thorzain with a 3rd barracks significantly delayed, if a proxy pylon comes in and your opponent did some crazy 5-gate, not like Creator did a 5-gate on Akron Waste, but that was a sentry heavy standard 5-gate. There's some crazy 5-gates where they cut a lot of probes and just hit you with only 1 gas and like a lot of stalkers and zealots. Those type of builds, if you don't scout the proxy pylon, can be very hard to defeat. So it's really good if you don't know what your opponent's doing. Check for those proxy pylons. Reaper's a great way to do that because it's fast. If it runs into a stalker, it can escape on like a Marine. Very, very useful way to kind of scout the front of your base.
Getting flashbacks of one of the first games we casted in this tournament. It was Seed versus Marine King Prime on this map. A spectacular
Game 4.
Yep.
Game 4 from that series. Go check that one on YouTube. It's 1080p quality, an amazing match.
Yeah. One of my favorites from the tournament, without a doubt.
Beautiful, beautiful play from both sides. It really felt like, and it was just a real treat. So definitely go check that one out.
So similar builds from Creator, except not getting the 2nd forge unless my eyes are deceiving me.
They do not deceive you. He's taking a little bit faster to the Colossi. Also, the fact if you don't get a 2nd forge, you can take the 3rd slightly faster. But what it more likely means is it likely means that there's a single forge. It's usually the build where it's 1 Colossus, then going straight to Storm. That's more common. You can't really do that build if you get 2 forges because you don't have the Templar are very gas intensive. To get the single Colossus plus a Twilight Tech and transition to the single to the Templar route is just too gas intensive off of 2 forge. And also, if you're not getting many Colossi, you're just going to stick with 1, then the attack upgrades aren't quite as useful. But here it's actually getting to range. So if he's going to get the range, I think he is going to get more Colossi.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. He's not going to double forge this game because it worked so well from last game. It could just be willing to take that 3rd base a little bit faster.
Yeah. You never know what mind games are happening too. Like, is he changing his plan because his opponent's scattered with a Reaper? Kind of be able to guess what he's doing. And then might adjust his Viking account accordingly. So there's a lot of things that can come into play. We saw Creator do something pretty cool there, sending a hallucinated Phoenix across the map. Of course, that is essentially free to do. It only costs energy. You do not have to research hallucinate anymore, at least in Heart of the Storm. So your sentry comes with that already enabled. But we're seeing Thorzain press across the map a little bit, standard timing. Lots of Marines and Marauders. We've got 4 medevacs approaching at the very least. Yep, he has 2 medevacs on the field, 2 in production, and +1 armor on the way as well. So again, it's such a tricky situation here. You don't really want to get into the natural because Photon Overcharge and Force Fields will make your time not very fun. So we might see him try to utilize some drop play. Going to be poking forward a little bit, perhaps try to bait forward some Force Fields, but right now it's going to be the game for Thorzain of trying to spread out his opponent and finding those vulnerabilities in Creator's defense.
Oh, it looks like he's going to evade that 1 observer Creator has out to scout for drops. His drop could hit the main. Creator has 2 Stalkers and 3 Zealots back to defend, but of course, double medevacs will have no problem dealing with those units. The Mothership Core does have enough energy for a Photon Overcharge, so that should help in defense as well. Thorzain, meanwhile, he has the 1 Marine guarding the front, 2 more medevacs poised to drop in the back to natural.
Here we go, the drop coming into the main base, ducking out immediately. Get 2 medevacs at either side. And we have something in this. We have 1 Marine who might apply pressure at the front door. Thorzain might try to come in from 2 locations here. At the National, poking in. Creator definitely knows what's going on, sees all 4 medevacs and their locations. Going to go out and try to secure this 3rd base. So Creator doing a great job so far, shutting down this drop line.
Thorzain looks like he's going to retreat, see no openings. Very conservative with his drop play. Not really trying to express himself on the map quite as much as some other Terrans we've seen, like Marine King, like Polt, for example. Instead, Thorzain's happy to play very defensive, but while he's... Oh, actually, looks, he might try to get canceled on a 3rd base there.
Stimming forward, targeting down the Nexus. There are plenty of Colossi here. Creator turning around, going to try to engage as the Nexus, getting to about 200, 300 HP, but Thorzain's going to back away, seeing those mighty Colossi above, not having any Vikings, not willing to engage that army.
I'm really surprised he didn't drop in a natural grenade. Of course, Creator only had a single Stalker and 3 Zealots defending his natural base. His main army was distracted at that 3rd base, would have been the prime time to get some damage done. Thorzain's going to retreat back, mobilize his forces. His own 3rd base is being set up now as well, and he's up to 5 barracks. So he's kind of doing similar to what we saw last game, taking a little bit of a delayed 3rd, trying to put on some pressure. But when Creator shows that he's got good defense, Thorzain doesn't try to push the issue.
All right, Thorzain posturing forward with Marine Marauder army heading to the National Stadium. It doesn't look all that big, though.
Ooh!
The Colossi going to take him off guard a little bit. Force Field's trying to section off some of those units. Thorzain going to pick up and zip out of there with that, igniting those afterburners. Upgrades are +2 armor here for Creator, and we have 1-1 for Thorzain.
Thorzain, this game, one difference is instead of adding that 2nd starport, he proceeded to ghost much faster. This could be similar to the same, he might have picked up on a single forge, could mean a slightly faster Templar transition. As this game, it does look like, I expect to see that Templar Archives thrown down shortly. And their Colossi are less of a threat if they don't get those attack upgrades.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matrix, there's a glitch in the Matrix. Hold on, fixing it. There's the glitch in the Matrix. We gotta fix the glitch in the Matrix. Bear with us for a second, guys. Quick interlude. We're at the 10-minute, 35-second mark of this epic game between Thorzain and Creator. This is a countdown that's happening right now, the top 10 in EU MLG history, and I just wanted to come back to me because I just wanted to refresh y'all on what's happening and completely ruin the flow of the game. No. A little bit of a problem with the video, but it looks like it should be back up
this could
and
be similar
running.
To the same, he might have picked up on a single forge, could
Actually,
mean a slightly faster Templar transition.
Yes. 1 second, give me 1 more second. Oh, we're almost there, I promise. Thank you so much for your patience. These things happen, but thankfully I'm here to help fix it because we all know you want to get back into the StarCraft 2 action. So that being said, as we fix this situation, hopefully we're near where we left off. Lennox, you are allowed to take it away at this point. Good sir. Creator vs. Thorzain. Let's get back into it.
This could be similar to the same, he might have picked up on a single forge, could mean a slightly faster Templar transition. As this game, it does look like, I expect to see that Templar Archives thrown down shortly. And their Colossi are less of a threat if they don't get those attack upgrades.
Yeah, absolutely. And Creator, throughout the series, has been really prioritizing the armor upgrade. Of course,
if you have to
the main
pick
idea,
one.
Yeah, the main idea there being like the Zealots are able to tank so much more if they have the more armor they get, which is going to make any infantry-based army. It's going to take a while to kill those. Of course, EMP does a world of help in dealing with that. So we'll definitely keep an eye on these engagement positions once these guys decide to go to battle against one another.
Thorzain may look for a 2-2 timing with the Ghost and the Vikings, but he also may remember the last game didn't work out so well. And similar to last game, again, he doesn't have that food advantage that a Terran typically does.
Yeah.
Because he really focuses on getting the Ghosts out as well. Also, his barracks count is a little bit lower than he'd like it to be. Only a single reactor for Marine production. 4 Tech Labs, 2 Naked Barracks still need to be utilized. He has a lot of extra minerals, so perhaps he could throw down a lot of command centers and play a very strong late game with a ton of mules. Creator with the 4th base coming up. Is Thorzain going to try to deny that? Storm is halfway done now. If Thorzain wants to make something happen, he may want to try to push the issue before Storm completes, but again, his bio army is a little bit small to take on a massive amount of +3 armor charge slots.
Very bold High Templar going to the top of the map here. Little engagement going to happen. Archon overextending, going to back away. Thorzain thinks he has the timing here, going to continue pursuing these units from Creator. Remember, the location of this third base, very spread out, very wide open. Guardian shields being deployed. Creator trying to hastily return his High Templars back to the third base from the top right. The Ghost getting in position, trying to spot his opponent's observers with the scans. Taking down the Colossus. Charge Blast coming forward here from Thorzain. He's up, or from Creator. Thorzain is up 193 to 164. Decent storm there from Creator, trying to keep Thorzain away. And it looks like Thorzain is going to stay back for now, but not the worst of trades at all.
A very good trade for Thorzain. He was afraid with his units being damaged, his Ghost starting to get isolated. He should back up before his army all of a sudden collapses to the massive amount of charge slots Creator has.
Yeah.
He's going to back away, and like you mentioned, that was a great trade. We can see here, he's going to burn a lot of Creator's bank to try to remax. He lost all the Colossi, which are very important as the game goes on. They're really the main counter to those Templar. And Thorzain's going to equalize the base count. His 4th is finishing up, adding that 2nd starport. I think we're going to see Thorzain, you know, I don't know if he's going to try to force a direct engagement before 3-3, but actually, Creator's army's out of position just a little bit.
This 4th base is definitely going to go down. I mean, we have a lot of vulnerable probes as well. Creator hastily trying to return to deal with this. Cannon's not done yet. Marines and Marauders coming forward, taking down. Looks like there's the High Templar in the middle line. The probes running, wondering where to go. Creator coming down the ramp here, trying to save his Nexus. Thorzain going to be backing up a little bit. Still has a ridiculous amount of Vikings in the air, waiting for those Colossi to come forward. There's only one Colossus here from Creator, which means Thorzain's EMPs are going to be ridiculously strong if used correctly. Here come the Ghosts from Thorzain. Thorzain going to back away. Stalkers, nice blink, taking down a few Vikings.
Oh, a lot of Vikings going down there.
Creator coming forward. Thorzain trying to back up a ramp. Nice hold position micro there from Creator. EMP is going down onto the High Templar. There's only one High Templar remaining with sufficient energy for Storm. Thorzain continuing to scan, trying to find that High Templar. More Ghosts. EMP is going down, and that High Templar does not have the ability to storm any longer. Will Thorzain decide to engage? Yes, he's going to try to go for it. Marines and Marauders standing up, going to kite back with the Bio Army. Vikings looking for those Colossi. There are none, which means no AoE on this Bio Army. Thorzain getting the high ground advantage at the top of that ramp. Creator forced to retreat. Can he hold this 4th? I don't think so.
So much bio from Thorzain. The 4th goes down. Thorzain is going to retreat a bit, but then turn around, fight again. And again, retreat. Happy they took down the 4th, not wanting to overextend too much against massive potential Zealot Warbins, knowing that as his 3-3 finishes, as he produces more units, now on 4 base versus Creator's 3, and Creator's really only mining off of 2 bases, Thorzain is at a massive advantage here.
He's got plenty of starports as well, so we'll be able to make Vikings.
You know, he did lose a lot of Vikings.
Yeah.
So that's actually one thing, you know, Thorzain did great that battle, but going forward, if Creator can reestablish a Colossi count and Thorzain isn't able to repop his Vikings, that could be the way Creator takes this next engagement. We can see now Creator is up to 3 Colossi, adding 2 more, but Thorzain aware of this potential threat. He has 8 Vikings now rebuilt, adding 2 more as well. So he's going to be a little bit Viking-like. 10 Vikings versus 5 Colossi is not really where you want to be, but it's not the end of the world.
You always, like, at this point in the game, it's so important to keep an eye on your opponent's Colossi count. How many Colossus do they have, and how many Vikings do I need to make? Thorzain has a good backup plan with a bunch of starports on the ground, so he has the ability to replenish those Vikings fairly fast, but doesn't want to get one bad engagement where he gets caught off guard by a lot of Colossus from his opponent. So look out for Thorzain to try to scan his opponent's unit composition over and over again, trying to identify how many Colossus his opponent has so he can make the appropriate amount of Vikings to deal with it.
Creator really needs this 4th base. You can see when that went down, he actually had the long distance mine because his main is mined out. Thorzain's looking to deny his base again, but this is a great angle for Creator.
Both these players are essentially maxed. Creator coming in from the left-hand side with a bunch of Colossi. Vikings turning around to try to deal with this Bio, trying to stay well away from the Colossi. Zealots overextending just a little bit. Storms trying to hit this Bio army, but Thorzain has so many units, up 183 to 162 in supply. Stimming forward, trying to take care of Creator right here, right now. Wants to take this win to advance to the semifinals, with Creator going to be turning around with the Zealots. EMPs blanketing on top of this Protoss army. Vikings taking care of all of the Colossi. No more High Templar remaining, which means what is to stop this Bio army from surging forward and denying this 4th base once again?
Amazing play by Thorzain there, seeing all the Colossi and Zealots, cutting back the Bio while the Vikings deal with the Colossi, and once those were down,
Oh, these probs.
The Gateway has no chance.
This might be over, Nicholas.
Thorzain rips apart to 4th base. He's up 200 food to 114. This, of course, is the final game of the series. Thorzain is poised to take it down 3-2 and be the first non-Korean to beat a Korean in the MLG winter season.
66-48 is that Harvester count. Creator restricted to 3 bases. Thorzain refusing to allow his opponent to get a 4th while securing more and more bases of his own. Creator is going to have a very tough time winning this game, but if there's a guy who can do it, it might be him.
The natural is nearly mined out. One stack goes, he'll be on a single mining base. He's going to need some monster storms to make a comeback here because Thorzain...
Does he have High Templar? It's like, I don't think he has any High Templar.
I don't think he does either. I think he's given up on him this game. He says Thorzain's ghost control is too good. Thorzain not happy to starve Creator out. Moves on a 4th to try to push the issue.
Vikings taking out the Militia Corps. EMPs being placed down onto the Archons and the Stalkers. Vikings taking down every single Colossi. Again, there are no High Templars here. Some desperate D-tiers here from Creator. But there's the scan from Thorzain killing those fast. And there's the GG from Creator. And Thorzain takes the 3-2.
Who is that handsome guy on the left? I want to know who that guy is and what's his number. That was Thorzain versus Creator. Awesome game 5 there. Thorzain able to take down Creator. And as Nick said, I think that was like the first time a non-Korean defeated a Korean in the entirety of the winter season. So is Thorzain the true King of the North? We're going to find out as this countdown continues along, guys. Coming up next, it's going to be number 7. And it's going to be Sase versus Stephano, Game 3. You do not want to miss this from the 2012 MLG Spring Championship. So, guys, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, but you want to stay tuned because you do not want to miss the rest of this countdown. See you in a bit.